The Galactic Academy's Xenobiology lecture hall fell silent as Professor Velthor's three eyes widened in horror. A blade, primitive, metallic, and utterly forbidden, gleamed in the pale blue lighting. Harry stood frozen, his hand trembling around the handle. The human boy had only meant to open a package from home, forgetting that what passed for a simple utility tool on Earth was considered a lethal weapon across most of civilized space. "Security!" Velthor's voice crackled through his translator. "Weapons violation. Code Crimson." Around them, students scattered. The insectoid creche chittered in panic, their compound eyes reflecting fractured images of the knife. The gaseous Nephil retreated into their containment suits. Even the usually stoic Grexians backed away, their crystalline bodies dimming with fear. Harry's face went pale. He'd been at the academy for only 3 cycles, and already he was facing expulsion, or worse. Weapons charges could mean imprisonment, deportation, a permanent mark on his galactic record. "I didn't mean," he started. But the words died in his throat as the security doors hissed open. That's when Akeem moved. She had been sitting in the back row, as she always did. The other human in their class, where Harry was lanky and awkward, still adjusting to the Academy's 0.8 Earth gravity, Akeem was compact and contained. She never spoke much, never drew attention to herself. But Harry had noticed things about her, the way she moved with predatory grace, the scars that traced patterns across her dark skin, the haunted look that sometimes crossed her face during discussions of hostile environments. Now she stood, and the temperature in the room seemed to drop. "Stand down," she said quietly, her voice carrying authority that made even Professor Velthor pause. The security drones had entered, 3 spherical units bristling with stun weaponry. Their targeting lasers painted red dots across Harry's chest. Akeem walked down the aisle with deliberate steps. Students pressed themselves against the walls to let her pass. There was something in her posture, something primal that triggered instincts older than civilization in every species present. "That's not a weapon," she said, still in that same quiet tone. "That's a toy." "Ms. Akim," Velthor sputtered. "Regulations clearly state—" "I know what regulations state." Akeem reached Harry's side. Up close he could see the calculation in her dark eyes, the way she assessed every angle, every threat. "Harry, put it down, slowly." He complied, setting the knife on the desk with shaking hands. Akeem picked it up, examining it with professional detachment. 3-inch folding blade. Stainless steel. Probably mass-produced. Edge dull enough you'd struggle to cut synthetic fabric. She turned to face the security drones. "I grew up on Titan Colony 7. A ripple of recognition went through the room. Even Harry, new as he was to galactic society, had heard whispers about Titan 7, Earth's most brutal colony. A moon where the methane storms could strip flesh from bone, where the temperature swings could shatter metal, where humanity had carved out an existence through sheer, bloody-minded stubbornness. Deathworlds, the galaxy called them, planets where evolution had gone mad, where survival was measured in heartbeats. Earth was classified as a Class 9 Deathworld. Titan 7 was worse. It earned a 10. "I was 8 years old the first time I had to use a knife to survive," Akeem continued, her voice steady. "Not against a person, against a frost crawler that had breached our habitat dome, 12 feet long, mandibles that could crush steel. My father's knife, much sharper than this, barely penetrated its carapace." She held up Harry's folding knife. "By the time I was 12, I carried 4 blades at all times. Not because I wanted to, because on Titan 7 you carried blades or you died." Her smile was cold. "I've killed things with my bare hands that would send half this room into cardiac arrest just from seeing them. I've survived pressure differentials that would pop your biology like overripe fruit. I've walked across ice fields in storms that registered as planetary disasters." Akeem turned to the security drones. "So when I tell you this isn't a weapon, I'm not speaking theoretically. This is a tool. A dull tool, in the hands of a boy who wouldn't know how to use it as a weapon if his life depended on it." Her smile widened, and there was something terrifying in it. "I, on the other hand, could kill everything in this room with a stylus, a datapad, or my bare hands. Should we evacuate the academy because I exist?" The silence stretched. Professor Velthor's translator clicked uncertainly. "The regulations," Akeem said softly, "were written by species who evolved on worlds where the rain doesn't burn, where the air doesn't freeze your lungs, where children don't learn to kill before they learn to read. Your laws are written from a place of privilege that humans, especially Deathworld humans, don't have. She set the knife back on the desk. Harry made a mistake. He forgot where he was. That's all. He deserves a warning. Maybe mandatory cultural sensitivity training, not a criminal record. She looked directly at the nearest security drone. Stand down. For a long moment, nothing moved. Then the drone's targeting lasers switched off. They retreated, hovering uncertainly by the door. Professor Velthor's membranes fluttered. I will need to file a report. File it, Hakim said. Put in the report that the situation was resolved without incident, that no one was threatened, that a Deathworld human vouched for the safety of this classroom. She paused, and that if any disciplinary action is taken against Harry, I will formally request a hearing before the Galactic Council on Discriminatory Enforcement of Regulations. The professor nodded slowly, his eyes still wide. Hakim turned to Harry, her expression softening slightly. Pack it away. Deep in your bag. Don't bring it out again. Thank you, Harry whispered. She shrugged. We Deathworlders have to stick together. The galaxy doesn't understand us, Harry. They think we're dangerous because we come from dangerous places. Maybe they're right. But that doesn't make us monsters. As she walked back to her seat, students parted before her like water. Harry noticed something then. The way she moved, the scars, the haunted eyes. She wasn't just from a Deathworld, she was a survivor. And in that moment he understood why the galaxy both feared and needed humanity. They had forged themselves in hells that would destroy other species, and emerged stronger for it. The lecture resumed, but Harry never forgot the day Hakim smiled and ended everything with nothing but words and the terrible weight of her survival. In the galaxy's carefully ordered civilization, sometimes all it took was a reminder that humans were fundamentally unkillable.